Welcome back to Cricket Safari. Welcome back to Sharjah Cricket Stadium. Qualifier 2. Who's going to the final? We now know. It's the men in blue. My Emirates, for the second time in the history of the DP World ILT20, are going to the final. They take on the Desert Vipers. Could they be the first team in the league's history to win this tournament twice? Great contributions by the team with both bat and ball. That man there, Tom Banton, was superb. We're going to speak to him very soon on Cricket Safari. A team looking very confident as they stroll into Sunday's final against the Desert Vipers. It was a relatively low-scoring affair. My Emirates winning by 7 wickets in the end. Darren Ganga, Andy Flower, and one of the men of the moment, Tom Banton, is alongside me with your 64. Congratulations, you brought your trophy over to show us. You must be very proud of that and very proud of this unit to make their way to the second final that you'll play. And how are you feeling?
Yeah, look, it's obviously that's the goal at the start of the tournament, is to qualify and then obviously to get through to the final. And yeah, for a chance to win it on Sunday is a pretty cool feeling, to be honest.
I bet it is. And you've had a really interesting season. You've hit your straps, all of you, at the right time, really. Apart from we blip against the Vipers the other day. Having that blip against the Vipers the other day, does that potentially give you the upper hand?
Potentially, yeah. Look, T20 cricket is such a funny game. It's a game of, I think, the smallest margins. And hopefully on Sunday, those margins are in favour of us. But yeah, look, we kind of had a good start and then it went a bit slow and then we've won 5 games in a row and then obviously we lost the other night. So yeah, to come here and get a win is obviously a great feeling. Absolutely,
I'm sure it is. Andy, this is a young man you've watched bat a lot over the years. How would you rate his performance tonight? He will make sure he's not listening.
Well, I want to ask him a couple of questions, but before I do, it's been an absolute pleasure to watch you bat, Bunce. You know, the balance that you've shown, your choice of shot, how still your head's been, your eye, and therefore your eyes. It's been really wonderful to watch you batting. One of the questions I wanted to ask you was, at the start of your innings here, you had a couple of balls from Narayan, which you had a few little reverse sweeps at early. How do you prepare for your innings in your head, and talk us through how it went this evening?
I think it depends on the wickets. I think the wickets this tournament in general have been a little bit trickier than they have in the past. I think if you look across, the average score's probably been a bit lower, I think, from last year. But I think my role in the team is kind of to bat through and guys bat round me. We've got a lot of power, a lot of West Indians, which is obviously great to learn from. Yeah, it was funny when Sunil Narayan was bowling that over. Obviously, a few player misses and then a message comes sent out. But no, look, Narayan's probably the best bowler in the world. So, look, you've got to try and apply a bit of pressure to him. You can't just let him bowl.
And Tom, tell me, like, when you first started playing T20 cricket, you were the dasher up front. And now you're given a role to bat through. How do you feel about a different role like that?
Yeah, I think it's kind of been a role since being with Emirates, to be honest. I did it last year for them, back with Somerset and other teams I played for. I normally open. Trent Rockets when we were together in the summer in the last few years. But I think it's just adapting to the wicket. Like I said, the wicket tonight was a bit slow and lower as it is in Sharjah, and then as the dew came in, it made it a little bit easier.
Darren, it's hard to believe that these two teams have never met at this venue over the course of this tournament. It's pretty wild, really, if you think about it. But it's hard to... You got Sunil Narayan bowling, sure, fantastic, but you don't have many runs to play with. It does make it slightly more challenging when you've got the likes of Tom Banton at the crease.
Indeed, and I think Abu Dhabi Knight Riders will know that when you score 120 batting first, you really give less of a chance to your bowlers, so they were always going to be under the pump. So one of the things I wanted to ask Tom is, of course, tonight, a very competitive bowling lineup, and you spoke about adapting. How challenging was it for you to adapt across the 3 venues? Was that significantly challenging for you as a batter?
I think coming into the tournament, you kind of have a rough idea of how each wicket's going to play. Abu Dhabi, for me, is normally the best wicket. And then Dubai is a very used wicket. We spoke before, it turns a lot. And it is a tricky wicket. And then here, there's obviously the low skid. And then when the dew comes in, it makes it a bit easier. But yeah, just for me, coming here is trying to play as straight as possible. Yeah, something we spoke about the other night in Abu Dhabi. So.
And going to Dubai for the final, to the international stadium, are you anticipating that turning again? And if so, do you think that gives you guys a little fillip given how good the Vipers have been with their seam attack this year?
Yeah, probably a little bit, I'd guess. If you're looking at how the wickets have been for our team, I think there's the slower turning wickets. We've got some very good spinners. And yeah, if we were to play on that on Sunday, I'd be very happy.
We've got to talk about some partnerships, and a big one for you was with Shakib. You guys did a wonderful job, put on an 80-run partnership. What was working so well for you out in the middle there? What were you saying to one another to make sure that you got through? Because sometimes those smaller totals can be a little bit tricky, especially when it comes to finals.
No, definitely. I think Shakib has played for so long now, so much experience. He kind of came in and took the pressure off me straight away. Boundaries, singles, not many dot balls, I think, which is the key. But yeah, look, Shakib's played for so long. He's played over, I think, 450 T20 games, so he knows what he's doing.
Darren, you mentioned it was like watching him roll back the years a little bit there. What did you make of his innings?
Well, I think it helps when you come from the subcontinent. You've played a lot of your cricket in conditions that you're familiar with, spin-friendly conditions, slower, lower bouncing conditions. I think you develop that proficiency to adjust, to adapt, and that is exactly what he showed. He is a situational type player too. When you look at his career, he's batted, from the top to the bottom, so he can handle pressure. And I think in T20 cricket, if you can handle pressure, keep your calm, and let that drive a thought process that will give you a probable or higher probability of succeeding, then you're on the right path. The next thing is just the execution. So it's great to see guys like Shakib still showing their quality and value in T20 cricket, because it just adds to the flavour and excitement in matches like this.
Speaking of adding to the flavour and excitement, your captain, Kieran Pollard, has been, without doubt, the captain of the tournament. He has been superb. I keep talking about the noises he makes, but it's my favourite thing when you can hear the stump mic and he's under the helmet. There's all these sorts of things coming out of there. Like, he's right in it for a man that's played as much cricket as he has. He's been amazing to watch. What's he been like to work under?
Yeah, it's funny because he was at Somerset, I don't know how long ago it was, and I was down there at school, and I used to go and watch him, and to now play with him is pretty special, to be honest. Standing behind the stumps, obviously a big guy, it's quite scary even for myself, and I'm on the same team as him, but just to learn from someone like him, he's kind of, as a keeper, he's come to me a little bit if I've got a few ideas, but I kind of say the odd thing and let him do what he wants to do. So
to be honest, I mean, I've had a chance of playing alongside him, of course leading him. I'm curious to find out, how does that planning process happen behind the scenes for Emirates? Is it coach-driven, captain-driven? Is it a collective effort? If you want to give us a little bit of insight into what occurs when you're taking on a particular opposition.
Well, I think the coaches will have meetings on the day of the game, and then we have like a little leadership group where we talk about a few things, how we're gonna try and approach this game or this wicket. And yeah, look, Polly at the end of the day makes the final decision. He's been with Mumbai for a long time and is such a well-respected man in cricket and someone I think everyone looks up to. So yeah, it's awesome to play with him, and hopefully we can win a trophy for him and Mumbai on Sunday.
Yeah, some of us have no choice but to look up to him. He is he's quite big. A presence, isn't he? Hey, yeah. Tom, congratulations. A great victory into the final again, a great performance by yourself. We'll let you go. We know you've got a bit of a bus ride ahead of you, so hopefully there'll be a few cups of tea on there and some good songs for you to sing. Make your way back, rest up well, and we'll see you at the final.
Thank you very much. Cheers, guys.
Well done, mate.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So a brilliant performance from MIE Emirates. They deserve their spot in the final. And I think we said sort of at the halfway stage of season 4, but these were the best two teams at that point. So it's good to see them in the final. The right teams are in the final, Andy, would you say?
Yeah, we're not just saying that with hindsight, definitely. We did say that.
I'll find the footage.
Yeah, and, you know, that subject that we've just talked about, the captaincy, it's been brilliant to watch some of the captaincy in this tournament. That little montage there of Pollard doing the intimidatory tactics right there in front of Jimmy Neesham it was in one instance. That's brilliant to watch, that sort of pressure. That is the pressure that you need to get used to playing under, but you often don't see that type of proactive captaincy in T20 cricket. I think Jason Holder has copied a bit of that captaincy this year. I certainly think that Sam Curran has all the credentials as a captain to do the same. So if this kickstarts some of these more aggressive more out-of-the-box thinking tactics from captains in T20 cricket, that can only be a great thing for the game.
I could not agree with you more. But if we look at MIE Emirates, we've spoken about their batting a bit, particularly, obviously, Tom and Shakib, but what of their bowling? Because they did start with a Hasan. I mean, and actually, the whole unit, the fielding unit was superb. To get Pepper out, that run out, really set the tone.
Yeah, indeed. And I think tactically they were very good too in terms of what Pollard said at the post-match presentation, taking pace off the ball, bringing more spin than pace at the start against the opposition. So the run-out too will help and complement that type of tactical move. Remember, this was the first wicket to fall, and then 6 wickets fell via the catching efficiency of this MIE Emirates team. So again, it just shows where their mindset was at. They were well prepared for this must-win situation. And I love to talk about the attitude of a team before an important game. And to me, they showed more of a determined attitude, and it reared its head in the execution.
So what could we say about ADKR's batting then in terms of their attitude from what you saw from the start?
Well, they struggled, but it wasn't an entire surprise. Their figures against spin, their batsmen's figures against spin, this year in ILT20 are poor. I think they're averaging 20 against spin through the tournament, whereas MIE Emirates batsmen are averaging 34 against spin through the tournament. So this is not a total surprise, and Pollard is not an idiot as a captain. He would have recognised that even if he hadn't seen those figures. Bang, their first 3 overs were spin. Their 4th over was a left-arm swing bowler who got a wicket with his first ball. He was bang on with his tactics. So they really struggled against the spin. They lost an important wicket in Pepper really early on through a brilliant piece of fielding by Fletch. They didn't have Salt to dig them out of the hole this time. And they dug a deep hole that they could never extricate themselves from.
No, it's hard when you're getting pressure from both ends, as you say. Let's talk about Gazumfer and what he offered tonight. Those 3 wickets were crucial, and he didn't really let up at any point.
Yeah, and it just highlights the value of an X-factor bowler, somebody that has some mystery, that can beat the inside edge and the outside edge. That's quality for any bowling lineup. And 3 wickets tonight didn't really surprise me. He's shown very good control with his lengths, and he will be a player that will be sought after beyond this league. Yeah, just continuing the form that he has shown, but not to take away from the support he received from the other end. Again, they were so good in the power play, it was like a coma on this Abu Dhabi Night Riders team that they just couldn't survive.
It certainly was. What do you make of his consistency in this tournament? Because, Andy, you and I have done a lot of post-matches together, and we are often talking about this young man and what he's done throughout the tournament. Does it speak volumes about the environment he's in, or the player he is, or a combination of both?
Well, I think it does speak volumes for the environment, his character, but also the character of the Afghanistan players that are performing so well across leagues across the world now. And they're going to be a real threat in the upcoming World Cup. I think some of the spin that's coming out, the mystery spin, he flicks the ball out of the fingers. He's not a wrist spinner, he's a finger spinner, but he's got a great carom ball. He's got a little in-swinger to the right-handers, and a genuine off-spinner that's not easy to see. So I think some of the quality coming out of Afghanistan, both in skill out of the fingers, from their spinners, but also in their attacking attitude. They've got a great attitude. They're excellent pros. You know, watching guys like Mohammad Nabi operate around your training environment and in the gyms at the hotel, etc. They're becoming a real powerhouse for their nation, but also with the franchises that pick them up.
Absolutely. It's been great to watch in Season 4 of the DP World ILT20. Now let's have a look at who our competition winners are. Time to announce the winner of the Visi Smart TV Presents Jawal Dikal in Umpire contest from the previous match. So a huge congratulations to all of our wonderful winners here for showing amazing Jawal and winning exciting rewards from Visi Smart TV, a smart TV that has it all, the youth entertainment brand. More names there. If you've won, congratulations. Do not miss your chance in the next match, because with Visi Smart TV, Jawal Dikal and Umpire. We're going to take a short break here from Sharjah Cricket Stadium, and when we come back, we'll have a look at what's coming up in the final. Welcome back to Cricket Safari. After 33 matches, we have our 2 finalists for Season 4 of the DP World ILT20. The Desert Vipers will now take on MIE Emirates. A great win for my Emirates here over Abu Dhabi Knight Riders, who, with respect, is the furthest they've ever gone in this competition, so well done to them. But more well done, I guess, to my Emirates, who make their way to the final. I've got Andy and Darren still alongside me. So Shakib Al Hasan, he won man of the match here tonight. Let's find out a little more about him.
Do you still go to the gym multiple times a day?
Once a day. I'm trying to get into the gym multiple times, at least twice a day, sometime, not every day. Hopefully I'll be able to do that. I think the hunger is still there, otherwise I wouldn't have, keep on playing cricket. I still love the game as much as I used to do when I was young, when I was 19. I still love this game so much. This game makes me happy. Every time I go into the field, makes my mind fresh. I feel like I'm alive. So that's the best thing that that can happen to me. I do have to spend a lot of time at the nets because I think when your body gets slower, you need to train a little more. When I was talking to Sangakara a few years back, that's the one thing he told me. And now I also realize, because it takes a little longer to get into your rhythm. So you need probably, a couple of more sessions than it used to be.
Shakib dives forward and does the job himself.
I think everyone has a part to play. I think batsman can set up the game, but bowler needs to win it. Doesn't matter how good a batting team you are, as long as you don't have good bowling side, you're not winning the tournament. So I think bowling still holds the key. Well, to be honest, year and a half back, I decided not to plan too much. But at this moment, I'm in a good position. I would say I'm in a comfortable zone, and I want to remain like that.
Yes, at 38 years of age, it's good to see him out there and still taking care of business. A man of the match performance again tonight. Andy, when you do get of a certain age, and I'm just going to say he's older than me, but when you do get of a certain age and you're an athlete and you still want to go out and compete, and T20 gives you a chance, I suppose, to elongate your career as such, do you just have to work that little bit harder on your fitness on this thing? Because don't they say you've got to stay on the park, you've got to stay on the park, you've sort of got to keep the ball rolling? So as a coach, would you say that?
I think working harder should be a given. I think a work ethic is a really nice foundation to have. I think working smarter is vitally important as you get older, because you can't push your body as hard as you did as a younger man. You'll start to creak and things will start to break. I know that feeling. So when he says he gets in the gym every day, that sort of consistency is exactly what he needs to elongate his career, to stay in good enough nick to play this game at a really high level. And he's still able to do that. He's been an absolute champion in all three formats, champion for his nation, and now he's contributing to the franchises that he plays for. So keeping himself in good physical condition, keeping himself mentally sharp. He looks like he's quite enjoying his cricket.
Yeah.
And today he was shoved up the order because of his prowess against spin. He's grown up playing on big turning wickets. So coming here where it's just turning a little, it'll be really simple for him. He might be a key with a bat in Dubai in a couple of nights' time when it might turn a little.
Yeah, well, the 7,000 runs under your belt, I mean, you're a pretty good one to pop up the order if need be. 500 wickets as well. I mean, he is some player, as Andy was saying. But is that kind of attitude, that kind of want to be better and stay at the top of your game regardless of age, is that important to have in a dressing room when you've got young men coming through? How much can they learn from players like Shakib, Karen Pollard as well in your changing room?
Well, I just spoke about my Emirates showing a better attitude in the warm-up at the start of this game, and that kind of set the tone for their success tonight. I just feel that with a guy like Shakib, a guy like Karen Pollard, we often talk about a team culture. What is team culture? Team culture is premised on the players that you have in that dressing room, the guys who are able to show the right attitude, not just for themselves and for the success of the team, but for the other younger players in that environment. So when you have a professional like Shakib, who is sort of bent on keeping himself physically fit, getting the best out of himself as an all-rounder, and his style as an all-rounder is also perfectly matched to the T20 game because he's a left-arm spinner. That's a real asset to have in T20 cricket. He's a left-handed batter who can play spin, and you often need that in a tournament, whether you're playing on good bouncy tracks. With the wear and tear of surfaces as a tournament progresses, you need a player like him to sort of control a certain stage of the innings with the bat. So he's ideally placed in terms of his all-round skill to play a leading role more to the back end of the innings. And he showed that tonight. His deft touches, that supple wrist that he has, he can, maneuver the ball. He doesn't have to power the ball like a Karen Pollard, but he can just show that ability to penetrate the field, to hit the ball in awkward areas and do the business for his side, which is something that he did tonight.
Absolutely, and now that team has qualified to take on the Desert Vipers in Season 4 of the DP World ILT20. The final is coming up, and we're coming to you an hour before the game starts, so 5:30, with everything you need to know about this contest. It is going to be huge. Will My Emirates win it for the second time, or can the Vipers finally, after making the finals 3 times, can they finally lift that trophy? Now, this is a great competition. I'm very excited for this game because, like we've said, the 2 best teams in the competition. It feels early, but we've watched every single game, Andy Flower. Who is winning Season 4?
Well, we were chatting to Tom Banton earlier, and I did mention the fact that the spinners that My Emirates have, Ghazanfar, Arab Gul, who's a good young wrist spinner from Afghanistan, Shakib himself, those are 3 excellent spinners. And I think on that pitch in Dubai Stadium, I think they're going to be absolute key. It'll be interesting to see that contrast with the seam and swing prowess that the Desert Vipers possess. So, do you want me to predict now?
Go on, have a go.
No, don't do that, Andy. Don't do it. Don't give me a secret.
You're allowed.
Don't do that.
Well, all right, gang. Then I'll ask you, how are the Vipers feeling right now, knowing that they're taking on My Emirates?
They're feeling happy because they've gotten the better of My Emirates 2 out of 3 times this season. And they won 1 in Dubai, so they understand the conditions there. I think narrowest of margins between both sides, it makes for an interesting final. So I'm not going to predict. I want to watch the attitude of both teams on the day.
Boys, give us a chance. But it is finals cricket. Anything can happen, and I'm sure it will on the day. Okay, last question I asked before we go. Win the toss, bat or bowl?
I know My Emirates, if they win the toss, they're definitely bowling.
And for you, Ganga?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Bowling first. Who knows? We're not far away. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. The finals are all wrapped up. We're ready to go. We'll see you on Sunday.